But first, we start here. Developing overnight, President-elect Trump is turning to Linda McMahon to head up the Department of Education. The former WWE CEO is a co-chair on the Trump transition team and served as the Small Business Administration chief during President Trump's first term. President-elect Trump also picking Dr. Mehmet Oz to run the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. If confirmed, he'd report to HHS Secretary nominee Robert F. Kennedy Jr. But the big story on the campaign trail is President-elect Trump's budding bromance, if you will, with Elon Musk. The president-elect taking a break from his cabinet search to watch a SpaceX Starship launch with Musk down in Texas yesterday. NewsNation's Brooke Schaefer is following the transition closely for us. Brooke, this was really interesting to watch all day long, right? What kind of influence does Musk have over this transition?
Well, it's safe to say he's got a pretty big influence on Trump and his orbit right now. We know that Elon Musk has been heavily involved in the transition process for Trump. He's been given unparalleled access, even joining some calls with world leaders. That bromance between the two further solidified with a trip to South Texas late yesterday afternoon. Musk now taking a turn himself to host the president-elect. The two watching Musk's SpaceX launch a Starship rocket, which took off without a problem. The rocket landing, didn't go quite perfectly, but engineers making the call to abort plans to catch the rocket on its landing, with it splashing down in the Gulf of Mexico. But it was another showing of the influence Musk appears to have on Trump. We know that the billionaire tech mogul has been a near constant presence at Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, though some Republicans have argued Trump will grow tired of Musk inserting himself in decisions, sources tell our partners over at The Hill. Now, Markie, this trip to Texas, it was not a border visit, but it came just hours before the Texas Land Commission confirmed to NewsNation it's offering the incoming Trump administration 1,400 acres of land for Trump's planned deportation efforts. Markie?
And Brooke, back to those new nominations that came down last night. What more do we know about Linda McMahon and her potential role at the Department of Education?
Well, Markie, the president-elect has long promised on the campaign trail to send education back to the states. And now, as you mentioned, he has appointed his transition team co-chair, Linda McMahon, to the Department of Education. She was on Connecticut's Board of Education 2 years ago, and the president-elect calls her a fierce advocate for parents' rights. McMahon, she's also the former head of the WWE. She was also named in a lawsuit alleging the wrestling promotion allowed years of sexual abuse of young boys by a ringside announcer. She served as the Small Business Administration chief from 2016 to 2019 under President Trump. The president-elect also tapped former TV host and heart surgeon Dr. Mehmet Oz to oversee the CMS, which works to deliver Medicare and Medicaid to millions of Americans. At the same time, though, behind the scenes this morning, Markie, a source familiar is telling NewsNation that Vice President-elect J.D. Vance will make the rounds on Capitol Hill this week, arranging for now former Congressman Matt Gaetz and Trump's pick for the Defense Department, Pete Hegseth, to meet with key GOP senators. Each has been described by some lawmakers as facing an uphill battle for confirmation. And Markie, all of this also comes as a lawyer involved in the Gaetz investigation says an unauthorized person gained access to confidential files containing damaging testimony about those sexual misconduct allegations against Gaetz. Gaetz, for his part, has denied any wrongdoing.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.